Good morning and welcome to another episode of Lockdown Tips. I'm Anna from Anna.marketing, and every day since the second lockdown started, I'm talking to you about various aspects of marketing and hopefully giving you some good tips that you can follow. So today we are going to talk about a photo brief, how to write it, what are the new trends, and hopefully that will bring you some ideas, and it won't be a struggle anymore if you're planning to hire somebody to do a photo shoot for you. So basically, when you're thinking of taking a photo, we all have great phones now, and we can do so much with with our phones. But when it comes to making a good photo for to make a really wow effect, it's good to give it to the professional. So it also gives the whole idea of your product to your customers, as with the whole scenery, with all the props added. So when you write this brief, it's good to let them know what you're going to use it for. Will that be used for your website? Will that be used for your social media? What format do you need? Or maybe you will use it for the brochure or some adverts that you're going to print. So what is really important is to give them the size of the photo. Orientation is the main one, because it will be either landscape or portrait, or it can be square. But if you can imagine that it's a bit different to shoot something that needs to be portrait than to be landscape, because if you are, if you need a landscape image, for example, you need to have enough background to to show and to cover. So again, if you are asking someone to do it for you, you want to make sure that you've got enough space to then use it into your brochures or on your website, for example. The square one is the one that is mostly used for social media, but again, when you are planning a photo shoot for the images that you're going to use on your social media channels, just think about where you are going to put the writing, because it may be that you use your logo all the time in the top right corner, for example. So that's where you want to keep your image free, or the background would be slightly blurred maybe. So it's important to let the person who will be shooting it, or write on the brief which areas to keep without much busyness, or maybe blurred slightly. Or maybe you are planning to do the write-up and then have your product on the side. So again, just make sure that you include all those details in the brief, because that's how a person shooting it, or the professional photographer will look at it. Another thing to maybe consider when you're doing it is to when they're actually doing a bigger shot, think about also doing close-ups as well. So when I worked at the range, we were doing massive shoots, and we also needed, for example, Christmas is coming, right? So we would have a photo, a beautiful photo of living room with Christmas tree, but then we would do close-ups of individual bulbs, so people can see the intricacy of how beautiful they were. So again, it's if you need that, a photographer won't do it automatically. You need to make sure that it's written down, that you need a detail of this specific part of your photo. Or maybe, for example, if you are doing a photo shoot of your lamps, for example, or a lamp, and it can be a beautiful lamp, but if you shoot it from outside, yes, you give a feel of how it will look like in somebody's living room or a bedroom, but you also want to show, for example, that the stand, how the stand or the base of that lamp looks like. Or maybe it's something within the stand itself that is really beautiful, and or it has an amazing 3D effect within it. So again, you want to give out its idea of how people want to use it, but also all the little details that make them to love your product even more. Now, there is a trend recently where you almost strip everything and you just show your photos on of your products on white, because this way you are telling your customers it's as good as it can be. You don't need all those little props to add on to the feel of your product or to the usiness, because you'll just be using this, and it is great for some products. It may not quite work for others, because still, if you are looking through Facebook or Instagram, if you see a beautiful a picture in a beautiful scenery, you still stop and wow it, don't you? So just again, just something for you maybe to try out, see. Maybe your customers prefer photos that are just of your product, nothing else, no distractions. But if you want a coziness, so if your personality is to give as much warmth as possible to your customers within kind of selling your product, you definitely want to think about props and the atmosphere that you want to give away with the product. So again, just to sum up what I've said up until now, when you write a brief, you make sure that you give the dimensions, or at least a orientation. Is it landscape, portrait, or square? Make sure that you tell if you're planning to put any add-ons, so logo afterwards, a logo or any write-ups. Make sure that you include that, so that space is either blurred or free of any distraction, potential distraction. And also, try maybe, or if you're planning to do the photos of your product itself, you need to ask on the brief, so that you also have cutouts, it's called, so a photo of a product on white. And also, I also mentioned the little details. So those are crucial things. Another thing is to give them the deadline. So sometimes if you are working with a photographer, you may not appreciate how busy they can be, or how long it takes actually to prove all the little details, because after the photo is shoot, it's then taken into programs to be stripped off, and if there is any lighting that needs correcting, or the levels need to be kind of put, so if you look at it, it looks absolutely crucial. And that's what photographers do behind the scenes. We don't see this, but it can take as long, if not longer, than taking the photo itself. So just make sure that you include your deadline, and basically try to choose maybe work with the photographer that you've seen their photos before, because maybe you like the style of one photographer and not so much the other. So again, just think about how you want to present your products, but make sure that you communicate it all to the on your brief. So hopefully that's been useful for you. And today is Friday, so I'll see you on the next Lockdown Tips on Monday. And have a lovely weekend. It's the last weekend of lockdown, and take care. Bye bye.